Nothing works the first time, okay? Please understand that. Nothing works the first time because most people give up before they try even once. Self-made millionaires have been studied exhaustively. They've been analyzed. They've been interviewed by the hundreds of thousands and millions. And what we know is exactly who they are and what they do and how they think and the decisions they make and the things that they do and they don't do. I did not graduate from high school. I dropped out of high school. I was told, by the way, if you don't get a good education, you won't do well in life. Don't get good grades, you won't get a good job. Don't go to college, you won't do well, and so on. And I believed that for a long time until I found there's hundreds of thousands, millions of people who dropped out of high school who went on to become millionaires and billionaires as well. Don't let any experience that you've ever had in your life act as a brake on your potential. Why is it that some people are more successful than others? So I began asking other successful people, what are you doing differently from me? And they told me, and I did it, and I got better results. I got into sales. In sales, I noticed that one of the guys in my company was making 10 times as much as anybody else, and he was selling the same product out of the same office at the same price to the same people under the same conditions, and he was making 10 times as much as anybody else. So I went and asked him, what are you doing differently from me? And he told me, and I did it. Now, what I discovered, which changed my life and which brought us here today, is I discovered the law of cause and effect. What it says is that everything happens for a reason. We say that success is not an accident. Failure is not an accident. Success leaves tracks. So if you just follow the tracks of other successful people, no matter where you're starting from, you eventually get to the same place that they get. Well, this was a shocker for me because, and I learned later in psychology that one of the two most important things we need to have to be happy and healthy is a sense of control, a feeling that we are in control of our lives. Well, when I realized the law of cause and effect explained everything, I thought, wow. In fact, there are a lot of people who are not as smart and not as talented as you who are doing vastly better than you, not because they're better, but because they're just following proven success methods. There's nothing that will make you madder than to see somebody who's dumber than you, who's making more money than you, right? Quick point, nothing works the first time. Okay? Please understand that. Nothing works the first time because most people give up before they try even once. They say, that's a great goal. I'd love to be financially independent. And then they give up. They don't even try. They say, but I couldn't because of this and because of that and so on. And then they move away to a wonderful place called someday Someday I'll start saving money. Someday I'll get out of debt. Someday I'll lose weight. Someday I'll start a business. And most people live on someday I'll. You have to become a totally different human being. One of my friends says that in order to achieve something you've never achieved before, you have to become someone you've never been before. And it's a really important insight. What I found in my research is that there's a series of qualities that self-made millionaires have. If you have these qualities, your success is virtually guaranteed. And if you don't have these qualities, the qualities are learnable. The first is to dream big dreams. Dream big dreams. Imagine that you have no limitations. Imagine that you have all the time and all the money and all the friends and all the contacts and all the education, all the experience. If your life were perfect in 5 years, what would it look like? How much would you be earning? How much would you be worth? What kind of a family life would you have? What kind of health would you have? What kind of car would you be driving? Now, what we have found is this is the starting point of great riches, and it's the starting point of great success in life, is for you to have a dream or a vision of a wonderful future. Number two is to do what you love to do. Whenever you find people who are really successful in life, they're people who do what they love to do. They love their work. The great rule for success in life is to find something that you love to do and then find a way to make a living doing it. Now, when you find what you love to do, it'll be something that gives you energy, it motivates you. And when you ask self-made millionaires, what sort of work do you do? They'll often say, I just do what I like to do. So one of the things that you can do is go back to the time when you were young. What is it that you really love to do? And you'll often find that within that is something you're supposed to do as an adult. Number three is commit to excellence. This is really, really important, and I had a hard time with this as a young man because I was never good at anything. I got lousy grades in every class. I got fired from multiple jobs. So I got fired, I went from job to job, and then I discovered that all people who are successful are excellent at what they do. So what you have to do is you have to pay any price and make any sacrifice to get into the top 10% in your field. Now here's the good news. If you're doing what you love to do, you will want to be in the top 10% in your field. If you don't want to be excellent at what you're doing, it means you're in the wrong field. And there's a lot of people who are in their field and they do their job and they go home at night and don't think about their work and so on. And this kind of an attitude means that you have no future. So make this decision to get into the top 10%. Everybody's in the top 10% started in the bottom 10%. Everybody who's doing well was once doing poorly. What that means is that if you're willing to pay the price and work hard and make the sacrifices, you can get into the top 10%. Now, how long does it take? It doesn't take a week or a month. Most people are really impatient. And to achieve mastery in your field takes 5 to 7 years. And the wonderful thing is this is nobody's better than you and nobody's smarter than you. If anybody else is at the top of their field, it means that you can be at the top of your field. Just go to them and find out how they got there, because they started at the bottom. When you're really good at what you do, you feel wonderful about yourself. You're respected and esteemed by everybody around you. You can open any door when you're good at what you do, because you get up in the morning and you know you're good. What are you good at? What could you be good at? What will you be good at? One of the questions that we ask is, looking back in your life, what is it that you have done that has gotten you the best results? Because as we said before, success leaves tracks. The next key to becoming a self-made millionaire is to see yourself as self-employed. What we found is the top 3% of adults in our society see themselves as self-employed. They see themselves as in charge of their own lives. When I started off my career as a young man, I was 21 years old, working as a construction laborer, living in a one-bedroom apartment, broke, taking buses 2 hours every morning to get to work and buses 2 hours to get back. And I suddenly realized that I was responsible. I was in charge of my own life. No one was coming to the rescue. And it was one of the great turning points in my life. So what you find is that all exceptional people are highly responsible people. They look upon themselves as self-employed. Winners think about their company, and when they're not there, they think about how they can do it better. When something happens in their company, they take it personally because they see themselves as highly responsible. As a result, they're paid more, they're given more educational opportunities, they're promoted faster. The next key to becoming a self-made millionaire is to develop a clear sense of direction. We find that all successful people are goal-oriented. There's an old saying, you can't hit a target that you can't see. You've got to know what you want in every area of your life. Decide exactly what it is you want and write it down and make a plan to achieve it. Determine the price you're going to have to pay to get it. So you have to ask yourself, what is the price that you have to pay to achieve the success that you desire? And you have to write it down and make a plan and work on it every day. Now let me give you a quick exercise. I want you to take a piece of paper like this and write down 10 goals that you'd like to accomplish in the next 12 months. Write down 10 goals you'd like to accomplish, and then ask yourself this great question. And then turn the page over and write it at the top of the page, set a deadline on the goal, make a list of everything that you could think of to do to achieve the goal, and then begin working on your list. And here's the kicker, do something every day. Do something every day that moves you one step forward towards your major goal, their number one goal, and work on it every day. It is the secret to becoming a self-made millionaire. It's the secret to great success in life. Each one of you has failed over and over and over again. Isn't that true? All of us fail. All human beings fail over and over. 9 out of 10 things that we try don't work out the way we expected. It's not the failure that holds you back. The failure makes you smarter. When you try something that doesn't work, you get feedback, not failure. And recognize that most things you try aren't going to work the first few times. And you pick yourself up and you move forward and you have more feedback and you move forward. To become a self-made millionaire, you're going to fail over and over again, year after year after year. But you can't get there unless you have experienced the failures. Now let me pass on one great rule to you, which has been discovered in interviewing self-made millionaires. Self-made millionaires always seek the valuable lesson in every setback or obstacle or temporary failure, and they always find the lesson. Successful people say, what can I learn from this that will make me smarter next time?